But now that we're outside of the Miz and WWE talk, let's now talk about everybody's favorite portion of the Chill Spill podcast, the AEW Eliminator Tournament. This week on Monday, we had both the Japanese and the American side. We had 4 matches on the show. I will say this before we start off. I thought this show was better than last week's show. I wouldn't say it was like light years better. I'm not trying to make it seem like, once again, I didn't hate last week's show, contrary to popular belief. I didn't hate last week's show. I thought it was good outside of the booking. But I liked this show a lot. I think we had a really goddamn good match in here that I thought was easily contender for best of the tournament, but I'm still debating on that and Serenity versus Ryo. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about the first match on the show. We had Tae Conte versus Nyla Rose. This was a fairly good match to start off the show. Tae Conte did not back down from Nyla Rose, as contrary to many David and Goliath battles where, David is uber confident, where David isn't uber confident. Tae Conte was all up in Nyla Rose's face at the very get-go of this match. I mean, she was shoving her, all this kind of stuff, which I didn't expect from her. But hey, I like the dynamic. She's all up in her face. She's trying to fight her on, headstrong. I appreciate it. Nyla Rose did end up powering over Tae Conte for a good portion of this match. There was one spot in here that scared the hell out of me, but it was so cool. So Tae Conte goes to kick Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose catches her leg and proceeds to hit the nastiest looking dragon screw I have ever seen. Like, I've seen Tanahashi do at least 100 different dragon screws. I've seen multiple wrestlers in my lifetime do dragon screws. Hell, I've seen Orange Cassidy do a dragon screw to Chris Jericho, who sold it like shit. But this dragon screw looked like she damn near snapped Tae Conte's leg. Now, that's all mostly doing credit to Tae Conte selling it. Because the way it went was that Nyla Rose, you guys know how it looks, she takes your leg, she kind of falls to her back, and she thrusts your leg in one direction. Well, when she did it, Tae Conte almost reacted late. Now, I think she probably did this on purpose. But she reacted I would say a half a second late. And because of that, Nyla Rose basically already hit the mat mid-dragon screw. And Tae Conte had to basically turn after the fact. And it just made this effect look like she basically snapped her leg. With the turn that Tae Conte did and the way she fell and the selling. It was a nasty looking dragon screw. Credit to both women in this spot. I thought it was really good. I felt like they probably should have worked over their leg a bit more after this, but it kind of didn't play into much. She sold it for about a minute or so, but then after the fact, she was walking on it just fine and even running at points, which I think didn't make too much sense. But I thought the spot was pretty sick. I was actually legitimately worried that Tay may have injured herself, but like I said, she was walking and running, so she was fine, at least from my perspective. Post that spot, I thought Nyla and Tay had a good match once again. There was a missed opportunity in here where Nyla Rose had Tae Conte on her shoulders and Tay kind of transformed that into a sleeper hold. And Nyla Rose, she's trying to reach for the rope. She goes for the turnbuckle instead and takes the turnbuckle off of the ring post. And that causes her to fall backwards into a pin. She kicks out. And she's still holding on to the turnbuckle for a second. Now, in my head, I'm thinking that Tay's about to go for a high knee because she's done it before, like a high knee to the face, and Nyla Rose is going to use the turnbuckle and block the hit, which would have been so cool, but she threw the turnbuckle pad away, which I thought was, they wasted us, but it was a waste. They could have used it, but nonetheless, I'm not going to be that nitpicky. I just thought that was something they could have used in there. But in the end, Nyla Rose did end up throwing Tae Conte outside the ring, military pressure outside of the ring, got her back inside the ring, hit a twisting beast bomb onto Tae Conte and got the pin. So Nyla Rose advances into the semifinal round of the American side. Like I said, fairly good match. Nothing you go away to see, but if you find it on Twitter, look at that dragon screw spot. It was nasty. We then get into the next match. Yuka Sakazaki versus Emi Sakura. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's fair to say it's time for Kenny Omega to pack it up for best entrance in AEW. Because Emi's entrance here with May, and I'm not going to lie, I do not remember what the other woman's name was, but May and one of Emi's other student. They dressed up as basically Emi Sakura's original AEW gear and like the red jacket that Freddie Mercury used to wear. They dress up with that and they have these microphone stands in their hands. And they basically kneel down the way that Miho Abe would kneel down to Taichi before he comes out. They kneel down to Emmy, who comes out with, her gear from last week, the red crown, and this red king's robe. And with the straight face and the vibe, bro, this entrance was just, like for a no crowd entrance, a small arena entrance, she slayed. She slayed. It was straight up queen shit. Emi Sakura for AEW Women's Champion. Let's go. After this entrance, I was all but rooting for Emmy to win this match. I was like, you know what? I was rooting for Yuka, but after this entrance, let's go Emmy. Let's go Emmy. Yuka comes out. She does her I loved it. Love the theme song as well. And the match kicks off. So they're going at each other. 3 minutes in, Yuka gets knocked outside of the ring by Emmy. And as Emmy's distracting the referee, you see her students start stomping away at Yuka. And I'm like, Emmy's a heel now? Because I don't think Emmy was a heel last week. But she's a heel now. And I'm like, you know what? Given the entrance and her straight face during it and just the demeanor she had throughout the very beginning of the match, I should have expected she would be a heel. But I'm just sitting here like, you know what? I'm rocking with this. And then, portions of this match, Emmy's beating down Yuka, and she's like humming tunes to Queen, and then her students chime in. Like, there's one really cool submission spot, which, once again, really dope. So she locks in the Romero special on Yuka, but she starts rolling while she has the Romero special locked in on Yuka Sakazaki, which is just the coolest thing ever. And while she's doing the rolling Romero special, she is singing a tune to a Queen song. I think I don't know if it's Drew will walk you or something, but she's singing a tune to a Queen song, and then her students are singing along with her. And I'm just sitting here like, yes, this gimmick is what I want to see every single week on AEW Dynamite. So, Emmy, you need to win this damn match, and win the next match, and then go to Revolution and beat Hikaru Shida, because this is AEW Women's Championship material right here. I'm not joking, by the way. Well, I am joking, kind of, sort of, but not really. So anyway, then I think she later did the boom boom clap. We will. She did that later in the match, which I marked out for because I'm a big fan of Queen. But I thought that Emmy was really great in this match as the heel role, dominant heel. Yuka Sakazaki was really good. I would even say great as well in her babyface comeback role. Especially her selling was on par. Everything about this match is just really damn good. The seamless transitions, the move-to-move combats, I enjoyed it all. The finish was a little bit sudden though. Emmy tries for a lifting butterfly facebuster. Yuka gets out of it. Emmy falls back. Yuka hits a sliding clothesline onto Emmy. Tries for the immediate pin, but Emmy kicks out. She uses that momentum to roll her into a crucifix pin, and that gets the win over Sakura. Yuka Sakazaki winning this match and advancing it to the final round of the Japanese side. Though I was not crazy about the finish, I thought it was a damn good match, and I'm still tied. I don't know if I like this match more or Ryo vs. Serenity more, but this is definitely up there for best match of the tournament. After the match, Yuka doesn't even get a chance to celebrate before she's beat down by Emmy and her students. Shida then comes out for the save, sending Emmy, May, and the other one walking back. Sounds so rude to say the other one. I gotta look up the girl's name because I feel kind of rude not saying her name. Emmy, May, and Uni, they scurry to the back. And I'm like, you know what? Even though she lost, I'm down for a fucking Emi Sakura and Hikaru Shida championship match next week. Let's go, let's get it. They announced a match later in the night that's happening next week, but I'll hold off on that until I finish off the rest of this review. So then we get into the match after this. Ryo Mizunami versus Asha Kong. Was not very excited for this match last week, but I did enjoy the match that we got here. Ryo got some fair offense on Asha Kong in the very beginning, even knocking her down with a shoulder block, which is pretty cool. I thought throughout, I think Ryo's confidence and just the way she carried herself with all of her her offense. I feel like that really got the match going a lot more. I don't want to say this. You know what? I think I probably would say this is better than the Rin Katakura match last week. No slight to Rin. No slight to Rin. But I think Ryo definitely pushed things along a lot more. And it may have also been that I think this match might have went a bit longer than the Rin Katakura match. And, Ryo didn't have to, get thrown around the way that Rin did last week. Maybe that's why I enjoyed this one a little bit more. But I thought it was pretty solid. Everything they did in here. I think one of the best spots of the night easily was when Aja Kong took Ryo outside the ring with her trash bin, because Aja Kong carries a trash bin to the ring, and she goes up to the commentary table where Hikaru Shida is sitting. Aja Kong takes a trash bin, throws it at Shida, who catches it, and Shida holds it. So then Aja Kong takes Ryo and sends her face first into the trash bin that Hikaru Shida is holding. And just the sound of the trash bin makes, I ain't gonna lie, I started giggling. I started chuckling a little bit. They got me. So Aja Kong, slow as a tortoise getting to the ring. I don't know how she was this slow, or Ryo was just this fast. It was one of the two, maybe a combination of the two. So Ryo, she basically gets an adrenaline rush, rushes to the ring as Aja Kong's trying to get in. She goes to the top rope, hits the Undertaker leg drop onto the apron, onto Aja Kong, who's draped across it, trying to get into the ring, by the way. She causes her to fall outside the ring. Ryo slides into the ring by the count of 10. Ryo Mizunami winning by a count-out victory. She moves on to the final round where she will face Yuka Sakazaki. So Ryo Mizunami and Yuka Sakazaki moving on. Like I said, I thought this was you know what? I'll say it was a good match. I say it's a good match. I was going to say decent, but that finish, that finish popped me. So I gotta say it was good. Then we get into the main event of the evening: Britt Baker versus Madi Wrenkowski. So Madi Wrenkowski had a bit of controversy on Twitter, much like I did. A bit of controversy on Twitter, I think a month or two ago, where I think Bianca Belair tweeted out a picture. You guys know Bianca Belair has a trademark Rapunzel-like, braid in her hair. And Madi Wrenkowski was on AEW Dark that same week, and she tweeted out a picture of her with her ponytail. I don't know if it was a quote tweet to Bianca's tweet or if it was a comment under her tweet. But she said something along the lines of, yeah, well, I have real hair. Sounded like I have real hair and Bianca doesn't. Which, oof. Ooh, I don't know if I would have said that one, but she went there. And the Twitter Mafia came after her. She ain't got cancer or anything. She was literally on AEW Dark, I think, that same week. Now she's here on the Aew Eliminator Tournament, so obviously it wasn't that bad of a comment that she made. And I don't think it was anything I could see exactly how what she said would have rubbed people the wrong way. I thought it was disrespectful, but it was definitely nothing that would have been like, take her off of television for the rest of her career. Like, it wasn't a career killer or anything. So she was back on Dynamite. Well, she's back on AEW television this week, YouTube television this week. Britt Baker and Rebel attacked her before the bell rung. An attack went on for like a solid minute outside of the ring. So Madi tried to fight back. She even got Britt into the ring, only for the bell to ring, and Britt stomped in her leg and continued to beat down on her. First thing I noticed as the match started off is that after that Bianca Belair comment, I noticed that her hair was not in a braid this week. So smart move, because that would have been the first thing people would have brought up. So Mike Wazowski proceeded to get beat down for the remainder of this match until inevitably Britt Baker got her down, cinched in her lockjaw, and got the submission victory. Listen, I'm not even really just skipping over what happened here. Nothing of substance really happened in this match outside of the beatdown. Britt Baker literally controlled most of this match and then won the whole thing. There was not really anything much mentioning about Rob Gronkowski. I didn't really think she did enough to impress me, if that makes sense. But Britt Baker won this match. I thought this really had no place being in the main event slot, especially considering the beatdown happened before the match, and then it wasn't competitive enough for it to warrant being the last match on the show. I would have personally put Emmy and Yuka in this spot, but hey, I guess they got to build up the champion, the soon-to-be champion Britt Baker. So that's just how it is. After the match, they end up beating down Madi some more, even rubbing what I'm going to assume is eyeliner. I don't know. I don't wear makeup. Rubbing eyeliner all over her face. We have confirmed coming up this and next week for the tournament, Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose will be happening this Wednesday on Dynamite. I'm pretty sure Britt Baker's winning that match, as she will the entire tournament. And then this Sunday on BleachReport.com, not on Dynamite or YouTube, but BleachReport.com, so make sure you guys remember that. We'll be getting Thunder Rosa versus Ryo, semifinal round of the American side. That's going to kick a lot of ass. I can't wait for that. They could go either way, but I'm going to say Thunder Rosa makes it to the final round to challenge Britt Baker, especially considering how the tournament ended this week. It's definitely going to be Thunder Rosa making it on. We also have Hikaru Shida, Mei Suruga, and Rin Karukura versus Emi Sakura, Veni, and Maki Ito. My favorite is back. I can't wait. I am hella confused though, because Mei Suruga was on Emi's side this week, literally was her manager, kind of, sort of, was cheering along with her, and even attacked Yuka Sakazaki after the match with Emmy. So why is she on the opposite side? It doesn't make much sense to me. I saw on Twitter people were saying, oh, maybe Hikaru Shida is trying to persuade her against her teacher who's trying to get her into the dark side. And yeah, I understand that. That makes sense. But it would have made a lot more sense if they just put Mei on Emi's side and then start doing that. Now, of course, I don't know how much time they would have had, because obviously I don't know exactly when's the next time we're going to see any of these women on Dynamite. So maybe they had to skip that integral part of getting to this portion of their feud, kind of, sort of. I don't know. But happy to see Rin back. Happy to see Veni back. Happy to see Maki Ito back. As I was told multiple times, Maki Ito's gimmick is that she loses a lot. So I'm not going to have high hopes that her team will win, especially considering that Emi's the heel now. So she's probably not winning this week. Definitely going to be Shida going again into the Aew Eliminator Tournament. But I'm happy to see all these women back. And then the main event will likely be Yuka Sakazaki versus Ryo Mizunami in the finals of the Japanese side, which I will go with Yuka to win and make it on to face either Britt Baker or Thunder Rosa. March 3rd would be next week. And I'm assuming that would be where they're going to have the finals of the tournament. But Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, how are they going to have their match on March the 3rd and the finals on March the 3rd? Like, I understand we're getting Shida versus the winner of this tournament on Sunday, but how are we getting the finals of the American side in enough time to have the finals of the tournament? They haven't explained that part. I don't know how they're going to get to that point, but we'll see when we get there. Like I said, I thought the show was better than last week. Good show. Can't wait for Sunday and Wednesday.